let me show you what we have today. Here is one still flu affected Chris. Here is my Ibanez Fireman. And here's a practice amp and a drum machine. Here's a little pod where I'm gonna put the guitar. And yeah, we're gonna put all of those things together and hopefully have a good time in spite of me still feeling the flu. Basically, I'm so freaking annoyed I still have this stuff. It just totally threw me off, you know. Started with my kids, and then my wife, and then me, and overall we've had this stuff going now for like 3 weeks. And it's really exhausting, especially when you want to get stuff done. It just kills me. But it is what it is, and I'm still feeling decent enough today that I thought I'd give practicing a shot. So this is going to be fun. We'll see how it works out. Nobody knows. So let's see now if I can put the. Okay, I'm just gonna put the guitar up on the tripod here. Seems stable enough, I think. I hope. I've tried this tripod for phone before. Just used it for camera mount. Okay, that's okay. And now let's turn the amp on. We do have a little pick here. That's a cool sound, you gotta admit that. That's like super cool. This was actually better than expected. Maybe I could do it with 2 finger. I bet this is a way you never thought about using the pick before. So here's how to do it. Take a pretty thick pick here. I use a Jazz 3. And then you just stick it in between, or actually, you center the fret wire in the middle of the pick there. And depending on just where you hit the pick, which side of the center is going to determine which fret is being played. Which is pretty cool. I hadn't thought of that. Of course, it sounds totally out of tune, so. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And this Yamaha THR practice amp, it's okay, it's decent. I like it. I don't think in the near future I'm going to be looking at any practice amps. But I really like the fact that it has a built-in tuner. I guess that's probably something all modern practice amps have, but hasn't always been the case. Funny how things we take for granted are extremely useful. Okay, so. Ouch. I used to get good sounds from this one. Let's see. That'll do. Ooh, lots of comments. Can you say hi to my friend Lou? Hello there, Lou. Woking from England. What's up, my man? Hey, Priyanshu. Hey, I was thinking of getting an acoustic guitar. Which guitar brand will be the best? Sorry, man, can't help you. Haven't been in the market for a very long time. I wish I could give you better advice, but I can't. Usually the safest one is if you're looking for like a cheaper guitar, it's just to go to a local guitar store and have someone with you who knows guitars. That's usually how you can get a pretty good deal. But if you're looking for a like medium to higher end guitar, then do some research, go through some brands. SRV, well, usually I could, but after 1 week of the flu, I don't know if that qualifies. Okay, let's see if we can just re-angle this a little bit better. Question is, would you get a better sound? Is this okay? Is the guitar sound okay? Christian, I don't speak, I think it's Portuguese in Brazil, right? Sorry. I don't even hablo español, so Portuguese is, I'm really screwed. I think I need to start slow. I need to start slow today. Yeah. So if you missed the beginning, I've had the flu now for a week almost, and it's safe to say it really kicked me off track. Trying to get back now. Playing is not easy, but I think I'll get there today. Let's see. I'm just gonna put the phone or the camera a little bit better so you can see me or see my playing. I think would be cool. I don't know. You tell me what is cool. Maybe this is a little bit better. Oh man, this is shaky stuff, shaky business. Better, I prefer shaky than shady. I think this is better. my man, thanks so much for the support. There's some squealy licks for Will Z. For you, Will Z. Thanks for digging my music, man. If my singing is usually crap, it's gonna be even worse when I have the flu, so no singing today. So this is an Ibanez Fireman guitar. So, in case you guys missed the beginning, I'm a little bit messed up right now because I've had the flu for a week, and the family has had it for like 3 weeks, and it just totally messed up my ability to get anything done, including just basic practicing. So this is my first, practice session where I plug in over a week, I would say, and I'm really honored you guys tuning in and digging the show here. Means the world. As you can imagine, self-confidence isn't at a top height when you're feeling sick and you haven't played in a long time. But for me, playing guitar is so essential to life. I can't live without it. So even if I feel bad at it, I feel even worse if I don't even attempt. So I gotta do it. And of course, your support means the world. So let's keep going here. Let's do some E minor pentatonic rocking. So just your standard. That's your E minor box, right? It's the one you would typically play up here. I just played in the open position, 1 octave lower. And it's cool because down here it works both for soloing or you could do riffs, right? So it's a very cool scale and you can combine both. Of course, you can combine the standard position up here with your riffing. So do some sliding. Let's try that. Easy BCLS, thanks man. Okay, so what happened there? There I tried to do some fancier stuff. And that kind of stuff is really, in Swedish we say färskvara. It's a fresh product, like the stuff you buy in the grocery store that won't last for very long, right? So if I haven't played at all for 7 days, then attempting that stuff is really silly. So what I would typically do, and I'm not sure I'm ready for that, but that would be to really give myself some warm-up time here. Yeah, exactly, lost in the legato. So I would do maybe something a little bit boring to listen to. You really have to go at that pace to regain your strength and do that for a long time. And not try to just dive straight into it. I mean, it might work, but for one, it's probably not going to sound as good, and you run the risk of strain and actually injury as well if you're unlucky. But you can make it more interesting. Try to make it a bit more musical. So don't just play chromatics, you can play actual scales. So just E minor. So if I'm in the right mood, I'll do that. But today I'm more in a riffing mood, I think. What mood are you guys in? Would you rather see me do like exercising, the fancy stuff, or just rocking away with some riffs? That's a very good one. I wish I could pin that comment. Rock away and let the feeling introduce the soloing. Let me see, if I just tap that, what happens? I hope I won't accidentally ban you. No, you can't pin. Oh, pin message. Oh, I can pin the message. I'm gonna pin that comment. It's a good one. I don't know if I did it there. Can you see the rock away and let the feeling? That's a good one. Casey Jones. So the reason why that's so good of a comment, I think it's a very good way to explain how you should go about the shredding licks you know. Because whenever you see a guitarist who just, is playing whatever, riffing away, jamming, and then you kind of sense that there's a little bit of a pause and the player has to refocus to play that one difficult lick. It usually totally disrupts the flow of the music and it sounds very unnatural. It just sounds like you're trying to do your one trick thing. So that's why I like the Casey Jones comment so much. It says, rock away and let the feeling introduce the soloing or the shredding. That should be the spirit. You shouldn't really use the fancy stuff until you can make it sound natural. I think the most extreme but also obvious example of that is probably like Guthrie Govan's playing, because all the techniques he does are mind-blowing, but they're very natural as well. He has fun with them. He plays around with them. That's why it's called play the guitar. The approach to whatever you're doing, difficult or easy, should be playful. And I think it's especially important to emphasize with shredding, because when someone is too serious about showing their shredding licks, it just doesn't sound very good. And I think I fell into the same trap here, and that's why those are some really good words of wisdom. Rammstein. Whew. Couldn't do it today. Not in a Rammstein mood. Drop D. Oh, is it drop D? Perhaps it is. Oh, you're right. That's what it is. I don't know more than that. Pretty cool, yeah. What's the other one? Is that? Is that drop D as well, maybe? Yeah, probably drop D, I can imagine. Let's see if we can find another groove here. get the alternate picking going. This is also something that needs to be warmed up after 1 week of not playing. Now, but with the A string and a few higher notes. That was tricky. Going back and forth between this fast alternate picking and chords is going to be a major challenge. Let's see if I can pull it off. It's okay, but I don't know if you can hear that. When I come back from the chord into the alternate picking, the first 3 or 4 strikes are not that clean. So that's something I would work on. So let's try that. That was better. So I messed up. Okay, here's another one. Let's try string traverse while we keep that alternate picking going. So something like that. So one string easy, next string difficult. This guitar, I bought it like 8 years ago, I think, from some Swedish web store. They were available at very good price. It seems the market wasn't quite ready for these guitars. This is the Paul Gilbert signature. I think it's a very cool guitar, very, very special, very different, very creative. Sounds great. But I guess this kind of pretty extreme design, or extreme I wouldn't say, but still fairly different. It's not your, average Ibanez or Fender or Gibson. Maybe would have required more backing from like a bigger band or something. I don't know. But it's a very cool guitar. They were available for pretty cheap, so I had to buy one. New. It's one of the few guitars I haven't changed anything on it. I like his choice of pickups. I could always do with lower output pickups. I'm always a big fan of low output pickups. And these are stacked single coils, so they're not true single coils. They are in fact humbuckers, but stacked. So you have two single coils on top of each other. But this is a true single coil, and that's one of the good, very smart moves. So you have like two in between positions here, where you get like bluesier, less high gain output sounds. We can try that. So this would be the bridge pickup. Pretty riff friendly, I guess you could say. And then I go into position 2 here, the in between position. So if you compare that with just the bridge, this is more like hair metal or hot strat or I don't know what, and in between. More blues friendly, and I would say even more so if I go to position 4 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So these two. Of course, I would probably wouldn't use it with this kind of sound, maybe, but it's very versatile. And like I said, I almost always end up replacing the pickups in the instruments I buy for lower output pickups, and that's probably because I like the neck specifications of modern guitars and the playability and like the jumbo frets of like a modern guitar. I prefer that. But I like the sound of vintage guitars, like low dynamic outputs. So I either have the choice of buying like a vintage styled instrument, not true vintage, right? Probably couldn't afford that, but just vintage specs. And then I have to either replace the frets or scallop it, or I buy like a modern guitar and then I have to replace the pickups with low output pickups. So I'm usually looking for that kind of balance, and it's hard to buy. It's hard to find in your like medium price stock guitar. You'd have to go into something more like specialized, and it easily gets very expensive. So those who didn't catch the beginning of the stream, I'm still recovering from a flu. So I'm feeling kind of sick. But I still had to play guitar, and I'm very honored you guys chose to tune in, because you could have done anything, you could have been anywhere, but you're here with me. Can you believe it? And it's working out, I guess, better than expected. It's like it comes and goes in waves, so all of a sudden I feel dizzy, but then it seemed could keep on playing for a little while and the dizziness disappeared. So I guess that's probably a positive sign. I mean, after all, I've had it for a week now, so I guess I could, it wouldn't be crazy to think that I would start to feel a bit better. So I would like some more oomph from this sound. peace letter. I will do that. Thank you so much. So yeah, I could maybe just show you my practice amp so I can rest my mind and fingers a little bit. Ouch. Let's see here. Okay, here's me. You've already seen me, but you haven't seen this so much. So here's what I'm plugging into. I bought this practice amp a long time ago. I don't remember when was it. Probably like 8 years or something. It's pretty basic, but it's I mean, obviously now it's, I guess the Boss Katana is dominating the market, and I'd love to have one, but this is good enough so I don't feel the need to replace it. But if I were to buy a new one, I would probably just read all the reviews and get the Boss Katana. But this is pretty okay. It's simple and it's compact, and I think it has at least one good clean sound and one good high gain sound. I don't really know about the in-between sounds. I guess it's okay as well. You don't really get the super warmth in this kind of practice amp. I guess it's no wonder. I mean, you have really small speakers that are fitted in here, and you definitely don't have any real, analog tube warmth coming. But it's more than enough for practicing, so I can recommend it. Yeah, cool. So you have THR as well. This is THR 10. What I do think, sometimes you can feel a little bit ripped off because these are like flat rate frequency response or whatever it's called. So these are not obviously not a guitar cab. This is like a speaker you would find in a hi-fi or like a music. Can't find the words, but it's not a guitar speaker. So I don't understand why they had to split this amp series into like a metal version and a non-metal. They could just have fitted everything into this one, But I understand they need to make money. That's okay. I mean, this does have a little bit of everything, but you can get one that's more focused on metal, and then you get a few more metal voicings. But this is enough for me. And you've heard there's at least one good rhythm sound here. Oh, you have the THR 5 and the THR 30. Cool. Yeah, I've never tried those. And then I'm currently practicing with the drum machine, and I just grabbed this one from the studio. Usually I have it plugged in, but it's pretty good because you can operate it on both battery and power supply. So you could just grab it on the go. It's pretty nice. So that's what you've been hearing. Yeah, I agreed. It's a very convenient format, and it feels very, what's the word, sturdy or something. It doesn't feel like the kind of thing that's gonna break. So yeah, that's my little practice setup here. Okay, so let's put the phone back here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. No peace letter. This is just my little practice session setup here. I have a separate studio where I do most of my work when I'm not sick. So I tend to grab a guitar from there and something to practice with. But I have more amps and guitars there. And I usually prefer playing through tube amps. I mean, I have the Kemper, and I've played it a lot throughout the years, but I've really gravitated towards real amps. I mean, I think you can get great results from the Kemper in the studio, but I don't like playing through it. It doesn't inspire me at all, actually. With the only exception if I'm in a super shreddy mood, Then I've learned to dial it in so that it really helps you with the shredding, but that's at the expense of a lot of other things like dynamics and stuff like that. So it's not something I would recommend, but that's pretty much the only time when the Kemper inspires me to play, when I'm in a super shreddy mood. But even then, I prefer playing through, my Mesa Boogie or something, which, you can get a similar effect with compressors, but then you get all the oomph of a tube amp. Okay. Okay, now I'm so thick in the head, I need to figure out why there's no sound, and that's because I accidentally enabled the tuner. Okay. When you have the fever or have had fever, you know how your brain just stops functioning and you're really slow? And that's what happened now. I just looked at the amp, just staring at it, it's like, what the hell could be wrong? Your brain is so slow at processing. You're just staring at it like, I wouldn't know what could be wrong. So the problem was obviously I had activated the tuner function, which mutes the signal. So I got it. That's a funny story, by the way. I recently had an ear surgery, and it's unfortunately not the first time, but the first time I had it, I didn't quite understand how dizzy I would be afterwards. So had I understood, I probably would have arranged for someone to pick me up, but I didn't know that. So just when exiting the hospital, I was supposed to take an elevator, but I couldn't figure out which button to press on the elevator. So I kept pressing the open the door button. I don't know if you have that in your country, but or in your elevators, whatever. But that elevator had like one button you click for the elevator to arrive, and the other button, once it has arrived, you can choose to open or close the door. I didn't get that, so I just pushed that door button all the time, and obviously the elevator never arrived. So I stood there for like 5 minutes like, damn, this is a slow elevator. And then finally somehow I got my brain to work, but that's how I felt now with this app. But I fixed it, that's good. I think we need another groove. Let's do metal. Whoa. Instrument cabling to the phones, yeah, that's a classic. As long as you don't plug the wrong cable into the speaker out of your amp, you're going to be good. That's like my biggest fear. Just doing something with the speaker output of my amp. Because if you know anything about tube amps, you know that's a safe way to ruin your tube amp. And possibly also what's on the other side of that cable, depending on what you plug it into. It's a very strong signal you're sending. Yeah, so I love tremolo bars, except for when tuning them. I do a lot of the like whammy harmonics. If you've seen any of my shorts, you know that I do a lot of that stuff. Um, but obviously, this guitar has a fixed bridge, which is awesome because you can down tune it, and you don't have to worry about going out of tune and that kind of stuff. Sorry about that. So in case you guys want more technical details about my freaking condition, I just had a eardrum surgery, so I have to be very careful when I blow my nose, not to blow the whole thing out. So yeah. Ooh, Scottish. Bro, stop doing lines. What does that mean? So the amp I'm running is a Yamaha THR-10. Scottish, I like it. So when playing like that, it's clear to me that the biggest thing that hasn't come back yet after my 1 week of not playing is my my left hand legato or hammer-ons from nowhere. So I think maybe I could practice that if I just can find a somewhat smoother sound. That's not it. This is actually, I was speaking about this amp not having any crunch sounds, but this is okay. Maybe I can use that sound and just turn up the gain a little bit. Ah, this is good, perfect. Well, let's do some like arpeggio practicing. Pretty slow. So I'm only using the built-in voicings of the amp. I'm just using the THR-10, nothing else. Oh, so you mean you love the pickups of this guitar? Yeah, that's cool. I think they're called DiMarzio injectors. And this is like area 57 or something like that. Zane, you're too kind, man. Thanks for the support. No, I'm not, if you're asking about me, I'm not Scottish, I'm Swedish. Okay, so if I can keep going like this for 10 minutes, you will see me shred pretty soon. We'll see. A bit slower. Doesn't feel totally great. I'm a sexy beast. Needs to be worshipped like the Greek god that I am. Very good. I'm actually half Greek. There's someone who knows my history, Jim. I messed up again. Messed up again. I've actually messed a little bit with, I've installed a push-pull here, but I don't quite remember what I did. Let's try. Ah, this is better. Best is if I can practice a little bit without the right hand. I'm still gonna keep it there for muting. Ah, mess up. Mess up. A little bit of help with the right hand now. Oh, I think I managed to disconnect the tone knob. It's not there. Oh, that's bad. Okay, maybe need to fix that sometime. Well, Ducky Smiley, I can understand you wanted to go faster, but I'm trying to show the process here when you haven't played for a week and what you should probably do before you even attempt to play fast. And if I attempt to play fast now, I think I'll mess up. See, that wasn't very clean. So that's not how I want it to sound. So I don't play like that. You should never, I don't think you should ever practice with results that you don't like, you know. Just slow down until you like the tone and then you can practice. So that's what I'm doing. Because this is clean. This is what you want to hear. And now I've been practicing long enough, so I know that I can play much cleaner if I'm warmed up and if I'm into the game, which I'm not currently. So instead of trying to push myself there, I'm just gonna practice slowly, and not only am I gonna warm up properly after this 1 year or 1 week of having the flu, feels like a year though, but also I also run a little chance of my technique improving. If you've never played fast, then what I'm doing now is much more useful because you can see the process there, right? This is a highly musical and improvisation-friendly way to build your chops, your runs, your tone, and your technique and your speed. It's all in one single kind of exercise where I'm kind of going between different arpeggios, mostly in the key of E minor, but I also stray from the key of E minor and do a little bit of E harmonic minor and a little bit of like jazzy just outside, throw in some 7 and some diminished chords that are just outside of the key and go back and forth. So something like this. Back to the key. You can try going outside one more time. Back to the key, outside, back to the key, do harmonic minor. That's your crossroads, Steve, I think. Let's see if I can get my picking chops back as well. case you missed the beginning there, I'm not completely well yet. I'm still recovering from a week of flu, so I'm gonna have to end the session, but I'm still very surprised we made it to 70 minutes. I thought I wouldn't do more than 10 minutes, so it's still pretty good. I hope you agree. Sorry, mate, I don't see the BPM here. It's just a tempo here. Let's, I don't know, 100 BPM maybe. Hang on, we need you. Is that me? Okay, duty pooties. So it's been a very fun session. I'm gonna crash now into my bed. But this went unexpectedly well, so I want to thank you for that, and thank you for being around. It's been a fun session, and thanks for checking out all the content on my channel, which I'm putting out now in a higher tempo than usual, except of course for the last week where I've been sick. But you might have noticed I've thrown out a lot of long form videos. I haven't done that in quite some time. I hope to get back to that kind of thing. I'm just trying to find a format that works for both me and you, and that's useful. So if you have any feedback for me, just shoot. This is an Ibanez Fireman. So guys, thanks so much for being around. Thank you, Ronald. And we'll see you soon again. Yeah, cheers.